Right, let's make sure we unmute the mic before I even start the evening. Right, sorry I'm considerably late tonight, folks. Had a bit of a problem with OBS. It decided to log all my stream keys out, and I mean everything from Restream to Twitch to YouTube, everything. So I've just had to go through and refresh all my links just as I wanted to start streaming, so that delayed me. Then, wow, after that, this microphone of mine just up here to my right. Don't worry, I'm not settled into the prawn yet, so my camera isn't high. So yeah, the microphone decided it was going to go floppy. It didn't matter where I positioned it, it just kept dropping, so it would be within headbutt range. It probably still is in headbutt range because it's right in front of me here. So I'm going to be carrying on a little bit of work on this here bass. I'm going to move this out of the way. I have now got some licensed music that I am allowed to use on stream. He is now credited, even though he doesn't ask for it, he is credited in our description below. There's also a link to where to get the soundtrack. Thank you, Dommy, for recommending this person. It's not actually my cup of tea for music. It's not terrible music, just not my cup of tea. It is game music. It is the Heartbound soundtrack. So I've got that. Excuse me if I keep headbutting the microphone. I'm trying to get things set up all at the same time. Elgin's helped me as best he can under his circumstances. Alright, as you can see on the stream, I am still supporting Gosh. It's one of the, I think, 6 charities we've got on our Tiltify link. Again, headbutting the thing. I'm gonna need, it's gonna be dark blue for that guy, isn't it? I'm gonna get my Vallejo paints. Thank you, Ojin. Just put them in front, I'll deal with them. Which some of my friends that paint have issue with using because, well, to be honest, we're artists, we all have our favourites. So, you know, I'm not dissing anybody for liking the paints they do. Everyone has their favourite paint thing. And for good reasons, I will add. But yeah, I hear a lot of stigma with the Vallejo paints. Now I'm going to actually put my 2 cents in on this little, should we call it friendly debate? Because it's not a hostile debate. No one's getting ooh about it, as we say here in Devon. Ooh. I feel like I'm missing a paint. Oh, I am missing a paint because it's over there. It's the white. Okay. Vallejo have a very past habit with their paints of not having the same shade. These days it's changed. They're not as terrible. Thank you for the Witcher quest redeem. They're not terrible for the shading anymore. They're actually a lot better. The problem I have with them is they now outsource their name. So this one, for example, now they're great starter kit. Let's get it the right way up first. It's the Whiz Kids, and it says by Vallejo. Now that's a complicated one. Now, don't get me wrong, they are a great starter set, especially if you want something quick. But the paints are temperamental. They're either too thick, and yes, they still have the shade problem because they're not actually by Vallejo. Whiz Kids is like a subsidiary company. And again, not dissing them. So I'm not trying to give them bad press here. They have a tendency to be a little bit on the thick side. So if you're going to be using them, you want an airbrush with an airbrush thinner or a wet palette. I need a black now. Now, I do actually have issue with their black. I have to admit that on these WizKid ones. Speaking of, that's Blackwash. Blackwash is fine. There's nothing wrong with that one. That's gunmetal. Oh, I do have an issue with the WizKids metallics. They're a bit grainy. Too much glitter in them. But they're black. It's more of a mix of bluey purple than black. So I end up using this, and I'm going to have to use a bit of Abaddon black as well to make the dark blue I want. Don't need a lot of it. I'm just painting ahead. So I'm still doing the basing that I did last week. I did some of it. Oh, and if you want to see how the grain on this turned out, I don't know if I can get it close enough for it to come up. Turned out like that in the end when I did spray some varnish on, which is the matte varnish from Army Painter. Sprayed that on, it acted like a glue without having to paint glue on. Sprinkled some on, sprayed another layer, sprinkled some more on, did another layer. And we now have a rusty dust on top of him. I don't really know if you can see the grain because I can only see it on screen miniature. So I have screens for ants, so you guys will have to tell me. This is how his claws came out. So they're coming out okay. We haven't finished yet. I've still got some more. I have been making, off stream of course, red sand. So I need to chop that up a bit, make him sticky and drop it on him. We're going for a weird effect here. Odin would like some gore on this base. We're having a squashed guy. It's just under here. I don't really know if you can see the blood effect there. So we're going to have a head here, and a hand poking out, and a gun falling on the ground, where this guy is going to be storming over it. Obviously this is what we call a temporary base. You know, you put glue them onto a base you're not really planning to have them on, just so you've got something to handle them with. So we're going to be doing that. The head is here. So I've got that primed up. Got a gun primed up as well. I'm trying to avoid working with these guys a little bit because we're still using some hair and making some blood drips before we finish them off. I'm also trying to avoid another mini whose sword likes to fall off. I'm just trying to pretend he doesn't exist right now, even though I know I'm probably going to have to hollow out the sword and get a pin in there because it's fallen off so many times now it's getting ridiculous. I have no idea how I'm going to hollow out that sword. I don't have a drill thin enough. My drill is pretty thin. Right, I need a brush for horrible jobs. Where is it? There it is. And we need some Abaddon black. Have I got it out? Or have I got to go digging for it? It's non-oil. It's Dark Angels. Right, I think we've got to go dig it. Oh no, there it is. Hiding behind the PVA. Right. That bit of a shake. If you've been here long enough, you know I've got a bit of a thing for sticking the paintbrush handle in my mouth. I have to do this, get this pot a clean out. It's getting dry. This is what we don't like about the Citadel paints. This paint collects and dries around the edges. And when it's not doing that, it's being top heavy and toppling over, which you've seen more than once on my stream at this point.
No oil.
No, this one's Abaddon black.
No oil.
Oh, yeah, we've seen the washes go. Yeah, we lost a whole known oil to the top heavy lids. So this is carrying on with the theme on Lionel with the dark blue Traitor Legion. A bit too much black, although the blue doesn't seem to want to mix. What's going on here? Do we need to add more blue, do we think? I think we do. Again, sorry for headbutting the microphone. But yeah, I like to use Vallejo because I do have, you know, quite the artistic history with them. I've used them for painting on paper. They're great for that, especially the bigger pots. I've used them in my airbrush, which I have got to get around to testing and fixing because we've got a new pin for it. Or rather, I should say, we acquired a new pin from a friend who's broken the actual airbrush somehow, but had a pin spare as a result, so he gave us the pin. So the airbrush is fixed, but now I need to test if it works. Oh, yes. For those wondering, I am still healing from the rosebush, so I do apologise, but there are still 2 on my arm that are still healing from my ordeal with said rosebush. So you will see that from time to time. Know that they are healing. They are old wounds now at this point, at least 3 weeks old, but I do take a while to heal on my arms. I also scar quite easily on my arms as well. Wow, I've washed that out twice and it's now muckied both water. So, paint water inspection already. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible paint water. Now, if I find that the camera is a bit too low, because I have got it lower than usual, to try and give you some more, well, visions of what I'm doing, and adjust it a bit more easily as well. And it's slightly more out of my eye line, so I can watch my screen for ants. I think we're just going to leave that to soak in the blue water. It just keeps leaking blue everywhere. Okay, so without going into my brush sets, no, I don't need the 4 points. The 2, there we go. Now I use this one, so right. And let's turn on the mini painter specs. Well, I should really say detailed crafting specs. So everything in front of me has now gone blurry. I shall now adopt the prawn stance. This has been a nickname among some of us lately. We call it the prawn. That is a long hair to get up my glove. Go away. Right. Oh, sorry. Music. So this is the Heartbound OST. Again, the link to this is in the description below. Let me know if it's too loud. It's not really my cup of tea, but it's better than no music. No! Stay on there. So I'm arguing with the mini head already. I'm not too worried about painting underneath because that's where it's going to get glued. Let that dry. Now, to be fair, this 2 is actually a retired from its job brush. It's become my general wide paint brush. No. That base coat? No, it's colour. Where's my silver base? Oh, if I don't keep headbutting the microphone. Ah, there it is. Yep. Right. Hello, cat. So the cat returns after outside land. could go to your actual home instead of hanging out here, but I guess it's raining outside again. Ooh, is that an imperfection? No, okay. Let's bring it closer to see what that was. I cleaned it up. The line, mold line remover. Perhaps actually detail on. Won't bother me all that much because I will be painting it with a bit of glue to drop some sand on it. Sure. Realistically, just landed without getting covered without a bit of debris. See, I thought that was a bit of a glitch there, but it's not. It's the back pipe of the gun. Never can tell with Citadel models. Think you've got all the fleck and then you find something right at the last minute. Every single time. Air bubbles are the worst thing. Think you found them all, filled them with green stuff, and then bam! Oh look, another air bubble. Hi! Just as you're painting. And usually right after you've primed. Right. Now we'll let that one dry. Yes, it is supposed to be a bit dark blue like the night sky. Right, so that's drying. Let's have a look at what base needs. There's a bit of weathering on the camera lens. Oops. Okay, so the water effect didn't quite go the way I wanted. It dried more like PVA glue. Well, let's give that white base colouring some tomato sauce. Wasn't the fist on? Where is it? Right, ketchup paint. Dollop it on there. Something with the stone. camera. I mean, that's you watching, not the actual camera.
Good boy.
I'm going to get a more uneven reddish orange blended tone to the bricks, so look more like bricks. Also, this Sunday, so everyone knows, I will be, unless weather or some other issue comes up, and you never know, there's a lot of time between now and Sunday, I will be playing Sims again for Gosh. But I will be playing Sims 3 as opposed to Sims 4 to do the same challenge. It's looking much more brick covered. Ooh, and I've done it again. Tomorrow I'll be painting again, unless something massive comes up. Just never know.
Especially with the storms.
Especially as we're currently in storm warning. We've already had 2 storms today. Fine brushing some non-oil there. like it's maybe possibly got some Lord of the Rings influences in the inspiration there. Sounds surprisingly like the Shire. Cat hat. I'll tell you now, chat. It is a little bit laggy in the coming through, so I apologise for the delays if there are any. I noticed it earlier on other friends' streams that were streaming earlier today that we could type the chat messages in and it would be taking up to about 5-10 minutes for them to come through. So add that to my hyperfocus when I'm doing details. I do apologise. I will be trying to back read when I finish if I'm hyper-focused. But as to the delay, well, we can only work with what we've got. It is what it is. Hey. Painting mat is not supposed to come with me. Details picked out again. Right, let's have a look at this guy. Got a few more details to add in. Actually needs some non-oil on his lights, so just pack that up. Meow.
What?
We're gonna have to put the cat flap on the hinge, just so she can do her catty cat thing.
Then she'll keep pestering to get dried. Not a nuisance. Sit up.
I wash brush for really horrible jobs. Glue sticky on the brush. Over there a minute. Over there a minute. This is going to be just one of those days. I can see it.
That is what you're looking for.
I found the sound again this morning, and for the life of me, I can't find where I put it.
You didn't put up somewhere, did you?
I didn't put it down. I haven't put it up. Let's have a look, see if I actually may have put it in the toolbox.
I don't see it anywhere here.
Black and two retired ones.
It's not that there, is it? Behind the...
Yes. Yes, it is. See? One of those days today, folks. No. Get out of there. Actually, it might be better if I pinch it in there, because it can get mixed up with the red, but I don't want the red mixing up with the normal. This is like putting glitter on onto glue when you've just done that glue line. Yeah, flying sand. Hold this lid a minute. Oh, what's that bit done? I can go over there. concentrating. I now have itchy nose syndrome. I may move the camera again in a minute, folks, because it doesn't look as... Even though I've made it lower so you can see what's going on a bit better, I keep ending off going over here. He's practically ready for his base, this guy. There's a bit more on top. So we'll let him dry now. What was this one? Another modelling sand. Oh. Okay, we're going to close that one. Oof. Glitter shards everywhere. I obviously used that for something else more important. I think it might have been the dark steel. Oh, that's flak. We don't want the flak. What did we use that one for? Why does this look like mud? Open sesame! The reason it looks like mud? It is mud. And it exploded into my face. Right, we'll brush it into the thing again then. And I can hear it. Why are you bothering to rescue that sand? Because I spent ages colouring it and I don't want to use all my sand. And this is still perfect sand for finishing off the base. So, save the sand because I need it later. What will you though? Go away. Got a piece of metallic paint. Phew. Right, so we've still got some sand left. I'll put that up out of the way for now. Dry brushes make amazing sweeping brushes for sand. So do these funny spongy things to get it all off the desk. I'm going to try saving it all, but I would like to save enough. So now I'm wearing the sand. Drawing a bit better. At least it doesn't look like random PVA glue for the most part. Right. Head. It should have dried by now. Get back down on this. We can go that way. So my 2 is second time now to cover all the bits we missed. Okay. Okay. Excuse me a minute, we're just going to reorganize the desk. This is only because I've had enough with headbutting the things and knocking the camera. So... See, I can now put my arm under the camera without hitting it. Let's see, it's that gun, isn't it? Now, while we wait for a few things to dry, there's one job I need to get on with while I'm waiting. If I get the transfer sheets out. Need a special tool for this. Where have you gone? There. Be a bit worried if you disappear where I can't see you. Now then. I'll put the base on the image I actually need to see. That's just typical. Right, it is a lion that's supposed to go on his shield. A red one at that. Except, oh no, we do have a red one. Those are a bit big to go on. That said, the red line there, white wings there maybe. Stop following my arms. It's the lion. A little bit smaller than the others. Right, there. And I'm hitting the microphone again. Right, horrible jobs again. I think that reminds me of the Thundercats logo. You know what the sound? Guns? Oh, there we go. Let's try and maneuver the thing into place. I'll let him and his transfers dry over there now. Now I've got something that sounds like it should have come out of Ghostbusters. Maybe that was the point. No, don't know the artist. In person at least. Only know them through Steam. Need to unprawn for a minute. Grief for ukulele. Hey. As if I'm not confused enough how to feel about country music at the moment. No, you stay on your post. It's for the benefit of painting you. That's even worse than scorpion green. And then we've got scorpion green, which no, I don't want Dayglow colours. Not squeeze that paint out. This one's going to splurge all over the place now, so let's try and push it this way. Alright, OBS was telling me it wanted to shut down. I've just told it to get knotted. It's not red lipstick I'm giving him. I'm using this particular red as a sort of filling contrast wash type deal because it is watery enough for that. It's a technical paint, so it has the consistency of watery ketchup. Too much in the brush. Let his face dry for a minute. Literally the worst time to get an eyelash in the eye. Wow, didn't even squish it yet. Yes. I mean, like we've gone full circle on this playlist now. Or we could do that and send them all flying. Well, I literally only saved it for this, so maybe we'll just do it like that. I've got silver flecks all over my thumb. Stuff's like iron filings. Where did I put it this time?
What is it?
I'll find it. It can't be too far from me. Oh, I put it under the base. That's where I put it this time.
Not surprising.
Thank you for the Witcher quest redeem. Hi, Craig.
So predictable.
Ta-da.
Wow.
You wanted dark iron around those exhausts.
Yeah.
So yeah, he looks well and truly covered with dust from this thing that he stomped down.
It's bad through building, isn't he?
Yep. As soon as I've got the head painted and glued on, it'll be ready to finally have him on there. And then we can varnish and paint round the edges. Oh, that's the base so far.
That's looking really good.
It's probably going to be your best base on the whole table.
Yeah.
Because we have the shape and everything on this piece of... Wait, get out of my gloves! Right. Sorry, I'm shouting at my own hair. There is a delay with sending it. You're getting it, so yeah, I know there's roughly a between 1 and 5 minute delay between platforms today. It seems to be improving as the evening goes on. It was nearly 10 minutes this afternoon. Mind you, it still beats that hour we had back in January. him out of the way a minute. Put that there. Let's go back to focusing on the head. Get my special eye tool. And some Abaddon Black. I keep saying this, Mike, if you're watching, meet my eye tool. It is just a little USB plastic thingy with a broken piece of safety pin stabbed through for control purposes. That little tip gets daubed in black and turned into pupils. And then we correct from there if it needs it, which sometimes it does, although this guy's dead, so he's allowed to look crazy. If I can even make contact with him, that would be nice. He's bending away when I try to make contact with him, so we'll lay him down now. Sorry if you can't see from my hair. So let's get in there and give him an eye. Which he doesn't want. Apparently this guy doesn't want eyes. In fact, he doesn't even want to stay on his thing. Where are they? Now the paint's gone and dried. That is the main problem with this technique. The paint does dry a little bit too quickly. I heard you was doing a smash up guy under the thing. Yes, we are. Or at least a decapitated head. Yee, it's turning into skin colour soup over here. Alright. For horrible jobs, come here. So eye popping. Yeah, maybe if we can get them to actually paint, but I've got a problem with the paint drying before I can get it into his eye. I don't have a brush really this tiny. Alright, well normally that would work. But let's try my one hair Kalinsky. And of course, it's actually turning out it's more than one hair, it's at least two hairs, and they just splayed. He's going to be cross-eyed. Oh dear. Maybe we should just give him Black Abyss eyes. The guy is a traitor legion. No, it is not music I made. If you hop over to YouTube, you will find it credited in the mentions below under credits for music. It is actually Heartbound OST from Steam. If I still have the link saved. Yep, there we go. So that's the soundtrack. You can check the permissions if you're watching YouTube. I should get a copyright claim on this, not a strike. So if I see any strikes, YouTube, I will be asking the owner to help me contest you. Made him into a two worlds cross-eyed guy. Because we can. And he's dead, so we're gonna mock him. I will be getting around to making more of my own music at some point. It's all a matter of if I can find time. Which, between everything I have to keep doing, I don't really have much of. So I'm just peeling some blue tack off him, which was used to hold him onto his head pole that he didn't stay on anyway. No, he's still not going to stay on his head pike. Fine. See if he'll stay on our eye tool instead then. Nope. did this in reverse. Now wait. Slip that. Dry him securely to that stick. How did you lose the fuzzy bit to your mic? Your mic should be stationary.
He pictured it. All I did was took my headset off the bottom. Elastic bands are your friends. So are cable ties. Does she want some cat food or something? She's got food.
I can feel that the cat flap is open because I can feel the gold draft on my feet. I need to go outside and see if she's being trolled by her brother.
Not like that.
There's a cat. What to expect? When they decide they're going to be pains in the behind, they're pains in the behind. Right. Where's ketchup? There it is. Right. Where that came from. Of course, if I've got blood spats coming off of a sword, I will need to paint blood effects onto the sword. But let's get these bits done first, and then I can go find some sponge, probably from the excess filter sponge I've got back there, cut it into size, and use it for sponge painting on blobs of blood onto the sword, rather sporadically and randomly as it would be in reality. That's the base done. He can go sit over there and dry. Right. I'm terrified to touch this guy all week because his sword just keeps coming off. I mean, it's not his sword, it's him off the actual base.
Because the name carries weight.
Right. The actual sword is actually, for now, probably the firmest part on the model. No. Stay separate. Separate. No. Bad. Don't you dare. See, this is what happens when you have blood splats made out of your own hair, and your hair is unruly at the best of situations. I'm watching you, hair. What's that one? Sadly, I'm out of water effects, so I can't finish this off. Wait a sec, can I get the same effect with hard coat? I wonder. Probably not. Oh, blooming hay fever. I must be late for my antihistamine. This is our snips. There they are. Right, it gives me a base to handle while I'm painting in. Okay. Oh, there it is. I had it somewhere. 2. No, that's not the 2. There it is. So don't forget, people, to go check out the Lonewolf Clan links, exclamation mark links, to check out what on earth is going on in the background. Oof, okay. Let's randomize this a bit, I think. Yeah, so as I was saying, don't forget to check out the Lonewolf Clan links. So that's !links to call up the Lonewolf Clan link tree. This will give you a list of all our socials, the different hosts, links if they have them, and most importantly, right at the very top of the link tree is the charities we're supporting. Tiltifi is the one that will take you to all, at least I think it's 6 charities at the moment on there. There's also Dartmouth Caring and Elm Wildlife also present on there as the charities we're supporting. The stream today that I'm running, and at least until the end of May, will be the what we're calling the Sims 3 Sims Gosh event, where we've got to try and design housing for the families of patients staying at Great Ormond Street. But in the meantime, I'm also just going to try and raise funds for Gosh, in that I'm going to keep up the QR code so that people can just quickly scan in and add a donation. The target at the moment is £200. I am not the only one running this. The other guys are as well, except for Yoki, who is doing the other hospital on the links. It's hard to talk seriously when there's goofy music going on. I'll be able to tell you which hospital it is in a moment. I apologise, Yoki, I just screwed all that up. Right, so yes, there are 6 charities on our Tiltifi. So we've got Shelter, Starship Foundation, which is the other children's hospital, but that one's based in New Zealand. He's aiming to get $400 on that, so if you can help with that, that'd be great. Gosh, we're trying to do 200, but we will raise the target if we meet it. We've got Mind. We need to pause that. I mean, it is too distracting. Okay, so as I was saying, we've got Mind. So I'm just dishing out the charities at the moment as a reminder that this is a charity-based stream. We are a fundraising group generally, because we are not going to be monetizing the Lonewolf Clan brand here on YouTube. It's too many complex things for people in Britain, plus there's a few of us that use the channel. So it just makes sense to not monetize. It's too complicated, and YouTube seem to think that the world revolves around USA. Wake up, cool. The world is not just the USA. So it would be a good idea for you to have probably sub-branches in each country that deal with, oh, I don't know, tax. Just an idea, YouTube. All right. So, back to those charities, because I had to do that. So, yes, as I was saying, we've got Shelter, which is a homeless and housing crisis charity. We've got Starship Foundation, which is a children's hospital based in New Zealand and Oceania. So, they could use some funds. We've got Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital, which is here in the UK. Mind, which is a mental health charity. Tursal Trust, which is a food bank charity. I still can't... It actually makes me sick we even need this charity in the UK. Do not get me wrong. I'm glad they're there. They're fantastic people. But I am disgusted that we even need them. Tursal Trust is a food bank to help people in food poverty, no matter how hard they're working, because they can't meet the cost of living crisis. And if they're on benefits of any type, be it the support type for disabilities, or as we call them, working tax credits formerly, which has now just been piled into universal credit, and job seekers allowance, which has been piled into universal credit. Everything is getting piled into this universal credit, and it does not meet the minimum for living. So we don't even get our rent dealt with, we don't get our council tax dealt with, we don't get our bills dealt with, because it is just not enough to cover basic living standards. Yes, for JSA, or job seekers allowance, it is supposed to be a temporary crutch while you get yourself back on your feet. But the problem is, it is such a pitiful amount for any of the people that are stuck on it that you end up in debt more before you even find a job. So by the time you find a job, that job needs to be paying £5,000 a week minimum in most cases to meet your basic living standards and be able to cover those debts that you've run up over a period of time. By which point you're so far in debt, no one will touch you for a loan. So basically, DWP and the British government screw the people over so badly that it has become necessary for us to have a charity to give people food. That's how bad it's getting here. But our government won't admit it. They just move the definition border. Sound familiar? Right, then we have Cats Protection, which, by its very name, is a cat welfare and rescue charity. They're here in the UK. We also have Macmillan Cancer Support, which is a charity that supports people affected by cancer. So if they've had a devastating news that they have cancer, regardless of whether or not it's curable, they support them and their families through the process of what they have to go through. I'm still seething at the fact that we need a food bank in the UK. We're supposed to be a first world country. We're supposed to look after our citizens. And we have a government that is so out of touch it consistently fails us. Consistently. And now they're pulling up a general election soon. I don't normally talk politics. I'm not going to tell people who you should and shouldn't vote. I will say vote very carefully with your conscience. Do you want another 5 years of the same crap? Vote Tory. Do you want another 5 years of the same crap? Vote Labour. Do you want another 5 years of the same crap? Vote Lib Dem. Because at the moment, those three parties are essentially the same party split up into factions with different names. Because what's happened is the extremists have infiltrated all three parties. And by extremists, I do mean the type that have the ethos of you will own nothing and you will be happy. And here's some insects on your plate, regardless on if you're vegan. Yeah, it's those types. So, yeah. You can't... I mean, I don't even know who to vote myself right now because it seems that I'm voting for the devil, or the devil. That's pretty much the choices we have. And none of them are the devil you know. So, go vote with your conscience. Check to see what they stand for. Labour actually stands for nothing at the moment because they've just deleted their manifesto. So I don't know what they stand for. But basically, check the manifestos of any party, be them independent or one of the main three devils. And vote with your conscience. That's if you're in the UK. I know what I'll be voting, and it's not the three devils. Probably be a big X of no confidence across my ballot paper. So, yeah, we shall see. The fact that those three parties have pushed us into such a level of poverty that we need food banks in a first world nation. It's disgusting. Truly disgusting. Right. Back to some goofy music to lighten the mood. And hopefully some things will have dried. Oh god. Have I got another one that's like dead flesh or something somewhere? Yes. Is it a wash? It's colour. Oh. Right. I was worried I was going to have to use a wash. Right. Oof, wow. Okay, this one's gonna stink. Let's get some of this airbrush thinner in there, just to get some of that smelly bacteria, because washes are predominantly water, and the smell that you get from them is stagnant water. It's better. This is a newer one, so it shouldn't smell. At least, not yet. Give it time though. This is a blue colour now. And the green. Seems a little fitting considering I'm doing a decapitated head. Fresh colours slowly taking over. Some little teepees in. more dead body-ish. Me and this microphone are going to keep tangling. And again with the tangling of the microphone. Just for that to dry so we can do some highlights on them. Right, I should be right back. I'm just going to go find some scissors. I work for scissors, by the way. And some bits of foam that I can do blood effects with. Handy thing about being a fish keeper on top of everything, you always have handy bits of filter media laying around for just occasions like this. That's fine. I don't need that one. That can go in the toolbox. That's actually dried. gear doesn't keep slipping, that would be nice. Colour. Still too big. Seraphim Sepia, I know you're up here somewhere. This is smaller than the usual wash brush, but the details on these models are so finicky. If you actually use a wash brush, it gets too much. Said, could use a thicker one. Oh, red. Time for stinky red washes. all.
I was taught.
Not all of them. It's got rust and blood and sand now.
Definitely been in a war.
You should see these two. I've done the same to them. He's more dry than the other one at the moment. Not finished the swords yet.
Okay. Looks like he's waded through with those other breaches, hasn't he?
Yeah. It's a bit on his shield, mostly on his sword, some splatter on him. And then there's him.
Yeah. Still a bit.
He's a bit wet on his sword, that's where I did him.
He's looking really nice. Look forward to see what the sword ends up like.
And again with the... These guys are at war constantly.
Well, they are.
They're only clean when they first get on the battlefield. These guys are supposed to have been on it, unrelieved for ages.
Yeah, they're the ones who were all the Xenos before the Great Crusade.
Yeah. Get off of there, cat hair. Right. I thought you would move somehow. Get off. Go away. Affected piece of sand. I mean, it's tempting to stick him on like that, but I think that would be a little too obvious. Do too much detail on the cloth part of his thing. It was like that. Just need his face more than anything. Finishing touches can be done to him while he's on the base. This might keep falling so far forward. How it does it? Out. Alright. Stay. Stay. Now it's loose again. You just can't win with this microphone, you really can't. Right. You can now start to see what's going on. I'm going to start building up some more blood around that head. Once he's dried in place, that is. I am now at a point where I have not a lot to do to them, except wait to dry. Although I might... Let's use this paint pot. The one with tomato ketchup consistency. I think that's going to make a good paint pot. close up. Back switch to you. Hello, meat. So that's my cat demanding attention. This is no longer in it. That could be propped up there. And that can be pulled off. The other one. There's tomato ketchup. dropped him. So we'll see how that dries, which we'll have to wait for tomorrow. So we're down to the hours of drying now that this is going to need to set. And we don't have hours tonight, we have half an hour. At the moment, with all the minis I've got out, I don't know. Could he do a little weathering maybe?
I'd say his base. And maybe the yeah, back. But that's just my.
They're your models.
That's my point of view. Or use jetpack.
Process of ick being on him. That. Just get my equipment away and everything post stream. So let's have a look. See, need to chop that up. Okay, now it's lost its play and pause abilities. Good grief, what is going on with this thing? Alright. So that's just stream being stream. Plus this needs a charge anyway. Let's see. He's come out to Twitch. Twitchy. Who do I know that is streaming Warhammer right now? Or at the very least, arts and crafts. There we go. There's someone we know, so we'll take you over to him. So we're going to head over to Jimmy the Brush. Although my chat is telling me I have got 7 viewers, I'm not sure if Twitch is reading it correctly. So let's take you over to a really cool dude, if this thing will allow me to, and I will see you all tomorrow. Press the right button. Has the raid come up? We encountered an error. An error. Really? Oh, yeah. Right, let's get into video producer and do it this way. Stream manager. Stream together. Stream info. Clip. Oh. Trade channel. Paste. There we go. Hopefully that worked this time. So if we can all just raid him and go say hi. He does some awesome paintwork. So I shall see you all tomorrow around 8 o'clock-ish. And I'm going to say around 8 o'clock-ish because that's just how OBS rolls. See you tomorrow when I find the ending screen.